Yo, what's up guys? This video we're taking a look back at one of the more classic Call of Duty games, World at War. It might seem a bit random, but there's a few reasons we're taking a look at this game. The first reason is just because I really like COD Zombies and it seems fun to see if they're still worth playing. The second big reason is that a lot of older Call of Duties are hacked on PC and I don't want to touch the multiplayer with a 10-foot pole. But luckily it seems like World at War is one of the few classic CODs that isn't hacked. I think most of the CODs on console are fine. Let me know in the comments if any of this hacker stuff gets updated or fixed. Either way, I'm excited to be talking about World at War, which came out in 2008, made by good old Treyarch. Which COD developer do you prefer? Back in the day, it was really close between Infinity Ward and Treyarch. I don't play the newer CODs, so I don't know who's better these days. I'm more familiar with the classic CODs, and something that made World at War more special and worth it is that this was the first full package of a Call of Duty game. What do I mean by that? Well, every COD before this pretty much had a campaign and a multiplayer. World at War added that third main game mode into Call of Duty, which adds a lot more value. It wasn't even initially intended that way. Zombies was just supposed to be an added bonus after the campaign. But I guess Zombies became a fan favorite and the rest is history. Speaking of the campaign and this game being a full package, I like to review every part of the game and start with the campaign. But I know how some of you are and I have timestamps for the multiplayer and Zombies. But you'd definitely be missing out. Something that makes this game even more of a full package is that the campaign has co-op, and me and my friend have some pretty funny moments.
Okay.
Ow! They're in the trees!
Mate!
This also happens to be his favorite Call of Duty, but let's finally get started with the campaign. Man, this campaign is something else. This is back when it really felt like you're playing an action war movie in a Call of Duty game, and I mean that in the best way possible.
They're in the bushes! They're in the trees! They're in the fucking trees!
They're in the fucking trees!
What the fuck?
Like, I used to start with the campaign when I got a new Call of Duty game back then. That's how important they used to be. I know campaigns don't feel as important these days, but I like to have timeless content that doesn't go bad. Like, you don't need other players or a good connection to play the campaign. Well, unless you're playing co-op, but that's optional. That's partially why I really like the idea of a COD game being a full package. I played these games in their prime, but I want to see them live on and remain timeless to a certain degree. Too bad Activision doesn't help with that and likes to use nostalgia against us, but luckily if you have an appreciation for this type of game, this part of it will never get old.
I'm glad we're not the only ones committing war crimes. The tanks are just like blowing them up.
Good.
It's a little overkill.
Ah.
Oh, shit. Dimitri!
Oh my god. Oh shit, another one! Another one!
Dimitri!
Sure, the graphics don't compare to modern Call of Duties, but we're too cool to care about that. I'm someone who would still play the original Doom because the gameplay still holds up. World at War's campaign is a timeless roller coaster ride.
Ah! Burn! Ah! I just shot at that back. Ah! Oh god, it's reloading. A grenade!
I think this is one of the bigger reasons why World at War is pretty underrated. Some people like to say that World at War is just a World War II reskin version of Call of Duty 4, and as iconic as COD 4 is, I still think World at War brings a lot of new things to the table. Like most Call of Duties reuse, remaster, and remake a lot of their content, so with that in mind, they still did a lot with this game. Like I said with the atmosphere and presentation, it just elevates this game to another level. And I think some of us just miss when games like this took themselves more seriously. It's just easier to get immersed and it would just hit different. Even the soundtrack is orgasmic and it hits you every time you start up the game. Not to mention all the NPCs and how it really feels like you're in a war. Everything feels so grand and epic. Lots of people are gonna die, lots of explosions are gonna happen, a lot of gore, and all of this coming together is what makes this game so great. There's also these tank levels, and I know vehicle missions are usually not as good, but I think it's pretty cool because World at War is one of the earliest and few CODs to have vehicles in their game outside of the campaign.
Oh wait, G? Oh shit!
A lot of these levels are short and sweet, so you never get bored. There's 15 missions that take about 4 to 6 hours. It can depend on your difficulty and if you're a completionist. I think we played on hard.
We're on Verruct. Ow, oh my god, I don't like Verruct, holy shit, now I'm dying.
Ow.
I actually didn't care that much to be a completionist with this game because there's no Steam achievements. It's not that big of a deal, but luckily there's still campaign challenges that you can go for. I think you get XP from these and I thought it was pretty cool. A nice little touch that adds more progression. You also get points for kills and lose points for getting down. It's like an arcade style of gameplay that reminds me of the original Wolfenstein. It's fun to compete with your friends or just to try to keep your multiplier up and try to get as many points as you can.
Oh, Matt. Oh, this is about to be war crime and a half. I don't do anything. I think I see what they're about to do.
Do it.
Oh, do it, guys.
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
They did it.
I
Yay. Holy shit, they're crispy.
Like really crispy.
I'm getting hungry. What the fuck?
It's also cool how you can go down and revive each other before losing and having to restart, kinda like in zombies. Something else that can add a little bit of flavor and progression is the death cards.
Here, look.
What?
It's a death card.
These are basically collectibles that add a different way of playing the game, like enemies take less damage, shooting teammates to revive them, and headshots causing enemies to explode. Or if you just want to play paintball, that's cool too.
Matt, this is the time to use that fucking flamethrower.
Yeah! Yeah! It was worth it. That guy on the right had a good angle.
I think these are pretty fun. It reminds me of Mutations in Left 4 Dead. So even just the campaign has a lot going for it. It has co-op, challenges, collectibles, different ways to play it which adds replayability, it runs smooth with no lag, and it's just badass.
Oh shit, I picked up a mortar? What the fuck? Holy shit! What the fuck?
Oh.
Yo, can I have another one of those? Ugh. Holy shit. Yo, eat this!
Fucking berry.
Yo, who's got the balls to come over here, bro? What the fuck? Oh shit.
Like the only other COD campaign you can play with a friend is Black Ops 3, and as much as I love that game, this game's campaign is actually good, so you don't have many options. I'll get around to Black Ops 3 one of these days. My only critique that I can remember is that my friend's game would crash a few times, but it could be on his end. There's also a bit of grenade spam sometimes, and it's also not a critique, but Nikolai, what are you doing here? Get back in zombies.
Oh my god, look at his face.
Damn.
Either way, World at War is in a special place for Call of Duty because of its amazing co-op campaign. I know it's ridiculous that this game is still $20 and only goes on sale for $10 to $15, but a campaign like this helps make it worth it. So I highly recommend playing one of the most badass, gritty, and atmospheric Call of Duty campaigns. And if you ask me, yes, it's still worth playing, especially if you have a friend to play with. Shout out to the homie, but let's get into something that should hopefully make this game more worth the money, and that's the multiplayer.
No way! No. Oh fuck! Yo, I got shot!
Oh my god, he's got a fucking machete. Oh my god.
Holy shit!
Okay.
Yo, I'm crawling for my life to replace that shit. Ooh.
No.
I'm doing it!
Yeah,
I'm doing it! I was about to say America, but Russia, I guess. I mean, nah, fuck that. I'm American, so America.
You criticize it, or you're gonna like somehow die in the next day, magically.
What?
Oh, nothing.
What?
Man, I don't know the last time you guys played World at War's multiplayer, but it really hits different if you have any nostalgia or care about these older games. This was during the early prime days of Call of Duty. Most would say it started with COD 4, and World at War kept things going. This is one of the most unique COD multiplayers because of that gritty war feeling, and you just felt it in the air with that thick atmosphere. The sound of explosions, Russians, dogs, MP40s, that's what the good old days sound like. Well, sorta, but there's no denying how much of a classic this is. But the thing is, most Call of Duties on PC have a hacker problem, and maybe they'll fix it after this video, but I wouldn't play most of the old school Call of Duty multiplayers on PC because of this. But luckily, World at War is one of the few multiplayers that you're actually safe to play. It might not be what you're used to on console, but it's still safe. There's some quirks and maneuvering you have to do, but nothing too crazy. Just looking at the server browser, if you try to join a random server with a lot of players, you might end up with bots, but if you know what you're doing, you can play World at War like it's still in its prime. Well, to a certain degree. You can definitely get some good matches and intense moments. It's just a shame that some of these older games have these fake lobbies with bots. This is the worst of it, but there are some other wacky things going on too. Like these super jump lobbies that make the gameplay insane. I'm personally not a fan of these, but at least they're not fake botted lobbies, right? But then there's also stuff that's pretty tame, like the crouch only servers.
Oh wait, is this one of those servers they want you to crouch? I think that's why the teammate's shooting you.
The fuck?
I guess if you want to take it realistic and hardcore and a little sweaty.
How are you talking, gang? What's the voice chat?
Z?
Tell me if you can hear me. What a stupid fucking concept for an old-ass game to have a crouch server. What the fuck? Like, legitimate. This game's old as fuck.
They seem to be pretty active, but me and my friend didn't like it. I think it was a little too slow for this type of game in my opinion. I can see why some prefer it though. Like, I don't mind a hardcore lobby, it can be a good change of pace. As long as you avoid those fake servers and take note of the real ones, you're good. Some of them will try to de-rank you, but restarting the game usually fixes it. Some of them have their own leveling system and custom features, but I don't usually prefer it.
Oh my god, I just fucking browning their... Hey, you fucking dick. I was trying to pick up a browning. I found one on the floor, and then no! I see dick!
I heard someone recommend this one server called PDG, and now it's the only server that I play on. It's pretty much classic World at War, but it can have enough players to be like Ground War from MW2. I actually really like that. It kind of brings new life to this older immersive World War II game, and it makes it feel even bigger and sometimes better. Sometimes I do miss that classic 6v6, but this almost makes Call of Duty feel like Battlefield in the best way possible. It's really fun going for your kill streaks, trying to stay alive in the chaos. I'm just grateful that we can still experience this game like this. I'm sure there's some other good servers and maybe I'll put them in a comment or the description, but PDG has been a good consistent server while I make this video. And one thing that has always been a big deal to me with Call of Duty is the progression. And World at War on PC has always been one I didn't really care too much about. I've had the game on PC for over a decade and it's even the first game I've bought on Steam in 2012, but I don't really have anything to show for it. Which is fine because this game is like a long-term novelty and it's fun, but after I installed the game after many years, I basically started from scratch. Maybe that's a me thing, but it's fine because I never cared too much about leveling up World at War on PC anyway. Maybe that's because of the profile system, but it really says something when I don't want to show you my stats or combat record in these type of videos. I love doing that shit. I care more about unlocking attachments than leveling up. What I really care about is getting more custom classes for badass weapons, and I was debating on prestiging, but there are these modded lobbies with super jump and a ton of XP, so I said screw it and pulled the trigger on prestiging. It gives me a reason to grind. So it's not quite the classic OG World at War experience, but it's still something and I highly appreciate it. But none of this would matter if this game was dead, but as we take a look at the player count, this is actually better than some of you think. Like, this is more players than most classic CODs on PC. A big reason is because this game isn't hacked and other stuff like free DLCs, but I was able to find a lobby at most times of the day with this player count, even late at night in the middle of the week. Sure, you might get some sweatier players at certain times in certain lobbies, but I think it's pretty casual overall, all things considered. A new player might have to adapt for a little while, but it's not too difficult. You're not playing a game like Quake or Halo.
This guy's like chilling by the bathtub. Let me in, bro.
That's where you guys are.
Oh, that was you. Yeah, no, I'm in that tub, chilling with this guy. I killed you in the tub.
I haven't gotten a kill streak in a long time.
Got a recon plane in the tub.
Oh, you fuckers.
Got you in the tub.
I'm killing boy.
In the tub. Beast, do you always play like that? Okay, fine, I'll get out. I only got in the tub because I'll get in the other tub.
Wait, someone call you out.
Yeah, so I switched tubs. Because I understand, but now I feel a little committed to it.
Coming.
Oh, look at that double for my dogs. I got dogs in the tub. Dogs in the tub. Alright, I'm getting out. I got my dogs. I'm getting out. I'm sorry, guys.
And I think there's some other ways to experience World at War with third-party clients like Plutonium, but I'm more interested in the original Steam version for simplicity and review purposes. I still think World at War is worth considering. I know it's not the most ideal price and it doesn't go on sale for much cheaper, but it's still one of the cheapest CODs on PC, and it has the monopoly of being the old school Call of Duty that isn't hacked. There's COD 4, but World at War has more players. Not to mention that this is one of the full packages of a COD game having co-op campaign, a safe multiplayer, and Nazi zombies. Remember when they called it that? I really hope the hacker PC problems on other CODs gets fixed after this video, but until then, World at War's got your back.
I've wanted to play this game like the way it should have been played so long ago for a long time.
And even if that problem does get fixed, I still think World at War's multiplayer is a bit underrated and still worth playing. Speaking of this game being a full package and Nazi zombies, let's keep this party going.
Eat this. Eat this. Get out of my tub. Get out of my tub.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm a big fan of COD Zombies, and this is where it all started. The very first Call of Duty to have a zombies game mode. This was supposed to be a little surprise after beating the campaign, but zombies went on to be more than that. It was an amazing progression from World at War to Black Ops 3, I even like Black Ops 4, but all of that was about a decade ago. There's so many modern features you expect from zombies now, but what if you take it all the way back to the beginning where it all started with World at War? There's a lot of things to appreciate like the atmosphere because this is the spookiest COD Zombies game, especially Verrucht. There's many different versions you can play these 4 classic maps on, but it just hits different on the original. Speaking of maps, we have 4 maps and they're all very iconic and classic. No matter how you feel about them, they're the OGs and they will be respected as such. I think the most classic maps are in World at War and Black Ops 1. That's partially why they remaster them so much. I don't think I said anything too controversial yet, but here's the thing. A lot of you underrate these maps. Some of you act like these maps are so plain and basic that they're unplayable or something. I mean, you kinda right. Nah, I'm just playing. What's wrong with you? This is simplicity done right. These maps have a lot of character and they do what they're supposed to do well enough. I personally think Notch did great for a first map. It was an instant classic and has a training and a camping spot. And call me crazy, but all I really need is a good training spot and preferably a good camping spot. Obviously we want things like cool weapons, perks, Easter eggs, etc. But I'm more of an OG player and most of that is a bonus to me. A big bonus to be fair though. Of course I like my perks, but if you compare an S tier map like Der Riese and an S tier map like Shadows of Evil, I personally prefer Der Riese more. I definitely like and appreciate both, but I don't usually play zombies consistently enough, and a map like Nocturne Toten or Der Riese is more laid back. Maybe some of you feel the same way, but I don't mind how primitive and bare bones this game is. I'm sure having nostalgia helps with that, but there was a lot of progression from map to map and you can feel it and notice it in the gameplay. There's definitely a lot to appreciate when it comes to the history and evolution, but what does that matter to you now? Why should you play this game right now? Well, for starters, you get all of the DLC maps on PC for free. Like if I wanted to play Black Ops 1 with all of its DLCs, it would cost so much money. But World at War is an easy $10 to $20. This is the first full package of a Call of Duty having campaign multiplayer and zombies, and it's pretty cheap. I'll admit it should be cheaper though. Also considering that it's easy to run, it shouldn't be too hard to get some friends to play some good old COD Zombies. That's what I did with my friend. Of course this game can be a lot more fun with a friend or two.
Alright, now you get the MG42. I hate you.
I personally didn't play Zombies Online because I was enjoying co-op so much, but it's definitely a fun novelty playing this nostalgic game with a longtime friend. But to be honest, that's all this really is, a short-term novelty.
I'm a happy boy.
Oh my god.
Don't get me wrong, I love World at War Zombies, but I love Black Ops 3's leveling system and remastered maps a little bit more. Not having a leveling system makes it feel like a time waster in the later rounds. I couldn't imagine playing the late game solo. World at War Zombies is fun on occasion and as a novelty, or if it's your only option for whatever reason. Not to mention that it's a little clunky and glitchy, which makes it harder. Like the zombies really slow you down as they hit you, so you gotta keep your head on a swivel. There's other things like quick revive not reviving you in solo and just how the game feels, but there's other things unique to this game like the power up timer and the box being full of shitty weapons. Okay, that's not necessarily a good thing, but I think it's cool how round 20 and 30 is considered pretty good in this game because of shitty guns and other reasons. It reminds me of the good old days, and that round 30 ain't nothing these days. Round 100 would have been insane back then, but now it's just a normal Tuesday for some of you. World at War Zombies is for those who enjoy the simple but beautiful things in life. It's not perfect, but it has soul. It has character. Speaking of not being perfect, I wasn't able to play Verrucht or Shino Numa. It just kept crashing on me, which sucks because I like those maps. Shino's my friend's favorite map too.
No way.
What? Alright.
Why? Why is this map cursed?
But I'm just grateful that I can play Notch and especially Der Riese, but some of you might have some problems like me. I didn't even think zombies would work at first. I'm just glad that it did, and it must be working for enough of you because the player count isn't looking too bad. I don't know how many of those people are playing zombies, but I'm sure you can find a lobby, at least at certain times on certain maps. It definitely helps that this is one of the few Call of Duties that isn't hacked on PC. That's one of this game's biggest selling points in my opinion. And if all else fails, you can mess around with the console commands and have some true old school type of fun. But if you ask me, this is a cool game to have in your library for a low investment, so you always have the option to play some COD Zombies. It doesn't get any more classic and nostalgic than this. It's not perfect, but it was the beginning, and I think it holds up well enough all things considered. So yes, I think World at War Zombies is still worth playing.
Oh my god, this is it! This is it! What the fuck?
Yo.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
Oh.
Ah!
Oh my god.
How did I live that long?
I don't even know.
Well, there you guys have it. My full package of a review covering the campaign, multiplayer, and zombies. This was a hell of a video to make. I've had this idea to review older Call of Duties while covering all 3 main game modes. I know I probably could have made this video in 5 minutes, but I guess I care too much. Which is fitting because it felt like the developers cared too much about this game. This is back when they really cared about COD. I know it's always about money, but the passion to money ratio has been getting worse over the years. Like, these are passionate games with a lot of detail, and they went above and beyond in the sense of making a good full product. Maybe you had to be there to fully appreciate it, but I know some of you were on the same page. I didn't play this game back when it came out, but around 2010, 2011, I was going back to older CODs, so I have some history with this game, especially being my very first Steam game that I have over 150 hours on. I think that's definitely worth the $15.
Well, don't go that way.
And I know I said it a million times, and my bad for repeating myself. This has been like 3 videos in one for me, but not to mention that this is the OG full product of a COD game. I think it's worth it if you want to play zombies multiplayer or campaign. The price of nostalgia can be a lot more expensive, so keep that in mind. I'm just glad that this has always been a reliable game I can count on, and I think it's one of those games everyone on Steam should have. Almost like a Valve game. So if you've been missing World at War or just don't have it, I think you're missing out because I think World at War is still worth playing. Thank you guys for watching. It really means a lot that you made it this far. Any support would be appreciated. This video was a passion project for me as well, and hopefully I'll see you guys on another classic old school Call of Duty. Peace.